Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, in this video, I'm gonna be doing a review for the movie Terrifier, the original Terrifier movie. I'm gonna be doing a horror movie review for this. The other day I posted like the clips for like the kill scenes in the Terrifier movie. Um, but I wanted to do a review for it as well, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And we're just gonna dive right into it. So this movie, I really enjoyed it for, just for, a few reasons. But this movie was very brutal, which, yeah, it's like, I remember when I saw it for the first time, I was just like, man, like this is like crazy. Like I did not expect this. And, you know, they basically went all out with this film. And, I really enjoyed it. The opening scene, it was kind of like the opening scene of this film. The opening scene was kind of like strange because I was kind of confused because um, if you guys like remember in like the opening scene, there's like this lady who had like she's like her face is like halfway off, and she's like in an interview or whatever, and then after the interview stops, like the journalist lady who's interviewing that other lady who had her face like cut off, she like randomly came out and like killed the journalist, the news lady who was interviewing her in the opening scene. I was just like, yo, like what the hell? Like that opening scene was just strange and weird. And then we get introduced to our main characters here, Tara, and then Dawn, her friend. And I liked their characters and their friendship and whatnot. I like Tara as a final girl, but this movie, I felt like it almost at times it was kind of strange because they kept going from changing the focus, on different characters at times. Like they were focusing on Tara for like half of this movie, and then at the end they switched to her sister's character, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess it was kind of confusing to me, but I mean, it is what it is. I still like Tara's character and her friend Dawn. Like I said, I enjoy their characters. In this scene, they're just like in a pizza shop, just eating, and they're just eating there, and then Art the Clown randomly comes in. He's like stalking them, being all like funny and creepy and whatnot, and he's just like sitting at the table, and Tara's friend Dawn like goes to Art the Clown, and she like takes a picture of him, and it was just kind of funny seeing Art's face. He was like just like what are you doing? Yeah, I really like Art the Clown's like humor, because as brutal as these films are, like his humor at times, like it works so well. And I really just like that. So yeah, she like took a picture of him, and then like she went back to her table, and they were eating pizza, and then Arthur Clown, he like goes to the bathroom, I guess, and then he like gets kicked out for whatever reason by the pizza shop owners. They like kick him out, and apparently the reason he gets kicked out is because um Art the Clown was taking a shit in the bathroom, and he rubbed it all over the wall for whatever reason. And I was just like, yo, what? Like, I was just wondering why would he do that? And yeah, it was just like funny. And they basically, Tara and her friend Dawn, they just leave. And it's Halloween as well. I forgot to mention that, which I really like that. Just that whole atmosphere and tone of just the Halloween vibe and all that, and just like even just the tone of like the film as well in itself. Like it felt at times to me like, a typical 80s cheesy slasher film, horror film, like just those type of horror films from like the 80s and whatnot, just like very cheesy, over the top, and like just it gave me that tone and vibe at times, and just like the humor, it felt like that, and I enjoy it for that reason as well. But yeah, like so basically, at some point in the film, Tara has to use the bathroom, and they go to like this building, this random building, and this guy, he lets Tara into the building so she can use the restroom in there, and then what's it called? Her friend Dawn just stays in the car waiting for her to come back, and then out of nowhere, cause like Art the Clown, he had killed the pizza shop owners. He just like decapitated both of them, and just he killed them. And then on the radio, whenever Dawn was like sitting in the car, um, like she heard that like there was a murder there, and that they were talking about the description of the murderer, and it matched Art the Clown's description, and she realized it, and then she thought her friend came in the car, so she was telling her about it, but she realized it was Art the Clown that came in the car, and then that's when he like basically kidnapped her, and you know took her, and I was just like just kind of like shocked as well, because I did not expect Art the Clown to just sneak up on her like that. And yeah, so he basically just kidnaps her and then takes her, and then like her friend Tara, just she leaves the bathroom after she's done, and she comes out and she sees Art the Clown right here waiting for her with this creepy smile on his face, and he's just like he's just like staring at her, and then he like randomly he just runs right towards her with this needle shot in his hand, and like he injects the needle into like her neck, and like she passes out and goes unconscious, and then she wakes up, and she's like tied up to a chair with duct tape on her mouth. And then this is whenever one of the most brutal kills I've ever seen in a horror film comes up, which I'm sure you guys who've seen the movie know what I'm talking about. And by the way, I've only seen this movie like once or twice, and it's kind of been a while. So if I leave out some stuff, that my bad. But like, you know, I'm gonna review Terrifier 2 as well. So I'm gonna be reviewing both of these movies. But this kill was just like, oh my gosh, bro, it was so gruesome. Like, Art the Clown takes Tara's friend Dawn, who he kidnaps, and he literally grabs like a saw, and he like literally like, bro, he literally just like goes right in between and chops her in half basically. And I was just like, bro, ain't no way he actually did this, bro. Like, I'm sure for those of you who have seen this movie, and when you guys saw it for the first time, I'm sure you guys reacted the same way, bro. Because when I saw this movie, I saw this kill, and I was just like, bro, Art the Clown is a menace. He is a menace. He is savage for this, bro. Like, look at the aftermath of this kill. Look, she's literally chopped in half. And Art the Clown's like taking a picture of her dead body, just like he did to her earlier in the film, or she did to him. So now he's doing it back to her, taking a picture of her dead body, and her body's like chopped in half with the saw that he cut her open with. It was just so brutal, bro. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, at least me, like I've never seen a kill this brutal before and this gory. And I've seen, quite a bit of horror films, but like, man, like this is just I thought this was like the most they can go with when it comes to a brutal kill. But for those of you who have also seen Terrifier 2, once I get to that, I'm going to talk about it, but there's another brutal kill in that film too. Um yeah, I mean that there's a certain kill that I feel like even goes even more overboard than this one. So it's like, man, Art the Clown is very creative, very savage, brutal, just crazy. Like he's with it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Art the Clown, he like chops her in half, and Dawn just gets killed off. She dies right there, and then what's it called? So Tara is just like now she's trying to get away from Art the Clown, and she's like just running around this random apartment or this random building. I don't even know what it was, to be honest. But she's like running away from him, and she's getting chased by him. And what's it called? She ends up going, and this is where I was kind of confused because like eventually they end up, she ends up getting shot by Art the Clown, and I was just like, yo, are they gonna kill her off? But then, like he like apparently because he just shot her in her face and she was okay afterwards. So then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I guess there might be a chance she'll survive because she was also stabbed in the leg by Art the Clown, and she was just trying to get away, and Art the Clown shoots her, and I thought she was dead, but she was still alive. So then Art the Clown shoots her like a couple more times, and she's like still somehow still alive. And what's it called? Then there's like this like other cat lady who's also there, and she does some weird like you know affection thing with Art the Clown. She's like rubbing on his head, and like she's like, oh, telling Art the Clown, have you ever felt a mother's touch or whatever? And yeah, that was just like, I don't even know what that was, but yeah. So then I guess eventually Tara slowly bleeds out, and her sister, I think I think her name was Vicky, right? Yeah, she ends up coming, because Art the Clown basically lures Tara's sister there, and basically, that way he could kill her. And he basically uses Tara's phone to lure her there and says, "Oh, I'm sick." No, he uses Tara's friend's Dawn's phone to lure Tara's sister Vicky to this random building. And what's it called? Whenever she gets there, she's just like she sees her sister's body, but her body at that point was completely her face at least was completely mutilated, and her eyes were gouged out, teeth knocked out, you know so she was completely just gone at this point, which I noticed that's what Art the Clown likes to do as well. He likes to mess up your face. He likes to just basically mutilate your face, take your eyes out. That's basically Art the Clown style, I guess, but it works for him. And yeah, so her Vicky sees her dead sister's body here, Tara, and she's like crying. And then, like I said, this like random cat lady, who I thought Art the Clown was gonna spare her at first, because like she was like, "Oh, have you ever felt a mother's touch?" And Art the Clown was just like going along with it whenever she was just like rubbing his head. So I thought Art the Clown would just leave her alone, but no, she ends up. I guess I don't know. I guess she dies because like she's still alive here, but I guess she slowly bleeds out. So then this other guy, he ends up arriving to the building, and Art the Clown kills him too. He like literally grabs like a machete and then like stabs him. He stabs him in the head with a knife and then grabs a machete and chops his head off. He likes to decapitate as well. So it's very Art the Clown has a very unique, effective, creative ways to kill. So I mean I don't think Art the Clown can be suppressed when it comes to creativeness with kills, like how brutal and over the top he is. I mean, as much as I like Michael Myers, I don't think. I mean, most Michael Myers movies I've seen, I don't know. I never seen him this brutal. So at least I mean, from the most. I mean, I guess in Halloween 6, Michael Myers was brutal. There was a few. There was like brutal kills in there. Halloween Kills as well. But I mean, I felt like Art the Clown, like he's very just like I don't know. He's another breed here, He's another breed of species. And so Tara's sister ends up like trying to, escape from Art the Clown, but she ends up running into like this garage place, and I don't even know how, because at first I was confused, like how because like now we're focusing on Tara's sister, like I said, which is what I mentioned earlier, how like they switch characters. Like they were literally focusing on Tara for like half the movie. Then they focus on her sister now at the end of the film, and then she ends up dying too because she gets ran over by Art the Clown. So then it's just like, who's the main character now, So she gets ran over and killed. The police arrive, and the police arrive, and they're telling him like, "Oh, put your arms up," and Art the Clown just grabs a gun and shoots himself in the head. And I was just like, "Yo, what the heck, bro?" Like this movie was just very wild. Like that's you. I'm not like I've noticed like these movies at the end of the film, they get very just like over the top. Um, like even at the end of the film, they like we find out Art the Clown is still alive because he's like in the hospital, and he kills this doctor at the hospital, and he like escapes, I guess. Um, or yeah, and then he basically like the end of the film, which is like this other mutilated lady's face at the end. Her face is completely torn off, and we zoom into her face, and I'm just like, and the movie just ends like that when it was showing Art the Clown popping up at the end, and that's it. Yeah, the ending was like kind of strange. It was weird. Even the second movie, Terrifier 2, had a weird ending. Especially the post-credit scene was like very strange. But other than that, though, I mean, this movie was very fun, though. It's very fun, just like the characters and the kills, and I like the character of Tara, even though she got killed off halfway through the film. So it's like, who really was the main character in this film, right? Like there was really no story. It was really just about the kills and how brutal and over the top Art the Clown can be. That's really what it was. But I didn't really mind because I thought it was still good for what it was. Like it reminded me a lot of like I said earlier, just the 80s slasher, old school films that that's how they were. Like some of them were just about kills and cheesy humor and stuff like that. Like that's what this film gave me. Even the second Terrifier, Terrifier 2 gave me those vibes as well. But I think with that movie, though, they kind of established our main characters, at least in that film. They gave us a final girl and even a final boy, I guess, in that film that we could root for. So we had main characters. We had some kind of story going along with that film. But with this film, it was just like, it was just like about the kills. But I still liked this movie, though. It was very fun. It was like, I enjoy it. And yeah, man, I could watch this film over and over again, just like Terrifier 2. I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan of the Terrifier films, but they're still pretty good, you know? So I enjoy them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this review. What do you guys think about the original Terrifier? Do you guys enjoy it? Do you guys like it? I do. And you know, I also want to mention this, because you know, since Art the Clown shot himself and survived, I mean, I think it's safe to say that he's he's like at least supernatural to some extent, right? Because like, you know, they even in Terrifier 2, the dude like gets so many like, you know, brutal hits to himself and he still survives. So I think it's fair to say he's somewhat supernatural or like superhuman, whatever. There's something going along with him. And I feel like with Terrifier 3, because apparently eventually that movie's going to come out too, they're going to probably explain more on Art the Clown's backstory and stuff like that. But I feel like there's something mysterious to him. He's kind of like Michael Myers. He's like very mysterious. Like they always leave open questions and weird things that they're not ever fully explained. Even in Terrifier 2, like they had like certain things where I'm just like, what is this about? Like, I don't know. So hopefully in Terrifier 3 they explain some of these things. And I'm gonna explain some of the things that I'm questioning too with Terrifier 2 as well. But in terms of, you know, I feel like with Terrifier 3, when that movie comes out, they're gonna explain everything. You know, just the whole story. But I do think there's something supernatural with Art the Clown. There has to be. I mean, this dude shot himself, and Terrifier 2, he's getting beat up and all this crazy stuff. So yeah, I think he's for sure some type of supernatural entity, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. Like I said, Terrifier, the original Terrifier film, is very fun. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Eventually I'm going to do a review for Terrifier 2. That's my next video coming out. And then I'm probably going to plan on doing, which I don't know if I don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to do another review after the Terrifier movies, of course. But that might come during the weekend, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, and yeah, just, you know, be aware. Stay tuned for whenever I drop new videos. Stay tuned for all of that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.